What's up, you boy, Domuto. We back with another video. Today, watching Call Me Arj. Ultra Vegeta and Vegeta's new form are too strong now. Oh, okay. She got these new forms, and I'm ready to see it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I heard it's about to get real serious now, and I'm ready. So let's get into it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let go.
What have you?
So our story continues with the sight of a stunned Vegito in his new half-transformed form. But even with his Seraphim Eye, Demon Eye, and Third Eye unlocked, he would be left with a giant hole in his torso, leaking blood profusely, missing any sign of internal organs. As behind him, in a new form of his own, the one-winged Grand Priest would be seen. His own pupils conversely missing, and his hair spiked up like some kind of angelic saint. And of course, this sight would pique more than just our interest, as the Omni King would then be seen looking on in awe as well, as the wind wades across his face, with him commenting in a hushed tone, "Dai, I didn't know you could look like that. You look kinda cool." There is much you still don't know of me, Lord Zeno. As Dai, now with a confident smirk on his face, would look behind and let out, "Surely though, my lord, you did not truly believe I would let this demonic scum dictate things, forcing me to play in this game of yours with hearts, dragons? I would never participate in something so below me." As sudden, with an ominous laugh, Dai would lift up his right arm and reveal within it a beating heart. The beating heart of Vegito.
Oh, damn.
It seems that hole in the God Killer's torso was not just for show after all.
You didn't!
He did.
Forcing Vegito to look down in panic, somehow still alive, presumably by willpower alone. As when we look closer at his face, he would suddenly begin to realize,
If you took my heart, then the dragon, I lost.
no fair! And even
Damn.
Zeno would come to
This
this
nigga Zeno really rooting
conclusion
for this
too,
nigga.
as he too would figure out that if Dai had taken Vegito's heart, then whether the dragon would bite down or not, the game was truly over. As he would point to his angel attendant, disappointed, and say, "You cheated! That's not how Zalama said you would win." But Dai, who in this new form increasingly begins to backtalk Zeno, would just reply with a cocky demeanor, "Well, Lord Zeno, Zalama isn't exactly here to say whether this is allowed or not anymore,
A
is
little
he?
ashy.
And there is only one person to blame for that. This heart that I crush here and now will put an end to this despicable charade. And... But just as Dai would begin to tighten his grip on the heart, ready to splatter it before everyone, it would seemingly do it by itself, and not
Turn
just
the
in
goo.
any common fashion.
Gave you the
As the
old
inside
rope-a-dope.
would not be filled with blood, but pink goo.
What is the meaning of this?
As suddenly, the material, which is visibly just a part of Boo, would suddenly expand at breakneck speeds, shifting behind the bewildered priest before collapsing around the angel as if ready to swallow him whole.
Oh.
How dare you! I will not!
But as a grunt of rage would be heard as the priest would struggle in futility to break free, his voice would become more and more muffled until... in a shock end, Dai's entire body would now be coated, with the goo rapidly condensing in size, seemingly crushing his body within. What is that? Dai's pink now? And of course, Zeno would be first to look in complete fascination, looking at the flagrant color and wondering intensely what even the spectacle before him was, as he would just wonder, wait, so who wins now? Both of you? Not quite, you insufferable brat! But Vegito, who would now change tune completely to a gigantic grin, would just watch on, presumably his work in doing, and say, in just a minute, only one of us here will remain looking the same. The other will become nothing but pink sludge, and then eventually, one with me. The winner here is the God Killer!
Here we go again.
As simultaneously, his gaping wound would become pink goo itself, slowly healing until... finally, in a flash, it would be completely resealed once more. Hopefully, with his heart still intact. Come on! Just a little bit more! And soon, like cheering on a football team, Vegito would just wait on in anticipation as his booze absorption continues to eat away with no sign nor sound of Dai's struggle anymore. Well, I'll be. And with everything shockingly seeming to go to plan, even Vegito would begin to be surprised at his route to victory, as he would say, to think, no matter the gods, angels, or even devils I've consumed and learned techniques from, it was Boo, in the end, that had the trick to stop even the priest. I guess there had to be a reason the Supreme Kai was so afraid of Boo after all. But it wouldn't be long for, in classic fashion, the God Killer to have jinxed himself, and something to not feel quite so assured. As with a furious roar, an explosion of immense, unending power from the Dai Shinken, Boo and whatever else would be holding him would be completely blasted off. No longer even able to keep the slightest bit of contact with his skin, as Dai would yell,
How dare you touch me
That boy
with
mad.
such foul abilities! Nothing will work on me!
And in the light of Dai's holy energy and presence, almost instantly, as the splodges of Boo would hit the floor, their demonic presence would erase and vanish to nothingness. Perhaps even smited automatically back to the demon realm from which the Margin originated. And Vegito, half annoyed but also having expected this, would then comment, I guess I gave that fat blob a little too much credit in the end. You just can't go down without a fight, can you, midget? Just have to make things difficult. No wonder you fell out with your brother. But like a raging beast now, full of fury and anger over what Vegito had just attempted to do, the jilted Dai would grumble, You! How are you still standing? Just how many hearts do you have, mortal? Seems the only way I can put you away is by ripping every fiber of you until nothing remains.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. As Vegito, now folding his lopsided arms, clearly not fazed at all by Dai's ridiculous change in power, would soon begin explaining. I have one real heart, Dai, as most mortals do, and all Saiyans. When you attacked, I'll say one thing. Your speed was outstanding. Too fast for my limbs to react to and block, but not fast enough for these lovely seraphim eyes of mine to detect and begin a change internally at the cellular level.
Okay.
I made you think you took my heart, but in reality, I just instantly created another and moved the real one, dragon and all, to another location within my body. Listen up and listen well. This game is an ending via a technicality, Dai. Before Vegito, continuing his smirk, would then transition quickly into fighting stance and yell out, Now, show me what this new form of yours can really do. Beat me fair and square, and this all ends. And for a moment, as the two would stare on at each other from opposite ends of the battlefield, Dai would just remain silent, contemplating the words of the God Killer, reflecting that maybe what he says holds true, that this nightmare of his will only end if he proves utterly and undeniably just how much stronger the one true angel is. I accept! And stepping into his own fighting stance, the famed fighting stance of the angels, developed by Dai himself, all of his muscles would tense and flex as he readies himself for the final clash of all clashes.
The final.
And just like that, as if their fighting spirits were now totally in tune with another, both would vanish at the very same nanosecond. Appearing suddenly in the air above, already within touching distance of each other.
Touch that
somehow,
nigga.
both coated in aura and with momentum pushing them forward as if they had been flung from separate planets. And the end result would not be one cataclysmic collision, but instead a flurry of multiple separate skirmishes that impact, creating shockwaves of pressure and wind as they collide in every section of the sky. All before the bulbous head and watch of the Omni King. Whoa! And curiously, as Zeno would look up in complete reverence and astonishment, he would quietly let out, I can't even follow all their movements now. And as we look closer into the great war waging on, we would see a frustrated looking Vegito, who would be looking back saying, now where did that brat run off to now? It's annoying, but that speed of his is getting a little too hard to keep up with. I need to slow him down somehow. But it wouldn't be long before that acclaimed speed of Dai that he would speak of would make its appearance. As in a flash, the Grand Priest would appear right by the side of the none the wiser God Killer. And just as quickly would U-turn to knee Vegito in the gut for devastating impact, stopping the Saiyan still in his tracks as his entire body concaves inwards. And as Vegito's body would then fly up, unable to withstand any more of the force, Dai would just be quick to outpace him yet again, flying all the way behind with his two palms clenched together until... With coldness in his heart, the priest would slam down on the spine of Vegito, leaving the God Killer to let out a pain-stricken groan, as his body's trajectory is now changed and sent straight towards the hard ground. Leading to Vegito just about maintaining himself, softening the blow as he would land on his oversized demon paw and one knee. And with his head looking down, attempting to slowly look up, he would just grumble.
It's not just his speed. He hits like a truck each time too. If I could just get him by surprise with this arm.
But all the
Get
plans
him.
would immediately be
Oh
thwarted,
shit.
as a bright light of pure energy would soon come crashing down, covering half of Vegito's entire body, as the God Killer would just look on in disbelief, numbed by the adrenaline of what he was seeing.
That nigga fucking you up.
But
Come
the
on, Vegito.
aftermath
Lock
would be
in.
too gruesome and shocking for even Vegito to not react to. As like having been sliced like a cake, half of Vegito's body would now be completely eradicated, providing a pink and bloody cross-sectional view into his body. And in the air, the source of the damage would be ever present, smirking as he scolds himself. Seems my aim is slightly off with this missing wing. But it's just as I thought. That demonic pink goo from earlier, the same that burned away and was sent to the demon realm under just the light of my power, is what you're mainly comprised of, aren't you, Vegito? And that means you're as fragile as butter before the power of the divine. There's no regeneration for what no longer exists in this realm.
Oh.
So good luck beating me now.
No!
And with Vegito just looking above, vulnerable on the ground as no sign of his body healing occurs, trembling and looking at his missing half, would begin to sweat in panic and let out.
Come on! That can't be true! Reform! Reform! Why am I not healing?
But as Vegito would struggle to fix his deformed state, the one-winged angel would begin descending to the ground, and eventually land with a light thud, as the nervous half of Vegito would just look unable to do a thing, still trying his best to figure out a way to heal. But Dai would then begin walking forward, making the God Killer's presumably final moments more tense than they should be, as he would say, I should have known that the source of that strange regeneration was not from this realm. Only a demon could be so cowardly to cling to life.
Oh
Boo.
shit.
I will look into that name when I am finished with you.
Oh shit.
As within the palm of his hand, a powerful concentrated ball of cyan energy would swirl and generate within the palm of Dai's right arm. It would seem
What you gonna
like
do now,
time
nigga?
had finally run out for Vegito.
Enough!
As finally, in the nick of time, Vegito's body would begin regenerating. But this time, not just with pink material, but a mysterious green and silver material also. Whatever he was using, it wasn't just food. Leaving the priest to just question, foul beast. Seems you have more than one demon within you after all. And eventually, Vegito would be completely back to normal. His whole body in one piece once more, but not after some serious energy would be exerted. As slowly rising back onto his feet, though covered in sweat, the God Killer would carry on his bravado, smiling as he would say,
Not quite other demons, but I do have within me the material of someone who might as well be one.
Oh shit.
His name is Cell. And unfortunately, his regeneration won't be stopped by the
I
likes
forgot this
of
nigga got a
you.
shell in him too.
and with that said, a cold
I forgot
silence
about
would
that.
return to the battlefield. As the priest, who would also have no idea who Cell would be either, would just comment, like I said earlier, you won't be done until I've destroyed every fiber of you anyway. Come back as many times as you like, but it won't change the gulf between our powers, Vegito.
If that's the case, then I'll just have to cut it down to size.
As instantly, not losing any hope, Vegito would then initiate his Godslayer blade for the first time in a while. And notably, it would appear far more powerful and intimidating than ever before, with spirals of red lightning encircling it toward the tip. But it would be at this point Dai too would ready his energy ball from earlier, pulling it back as if it won't be used as an energy beam, but instead something totally different. As suddenly, launching at each other as if jousting, Vegito would rush forward with his Godslayer blade extended, while Dai's Cyan energy ball would continue to swirl wildly. Eventually colliding together, with at first it appearing as though Dai's energy attack would be pierced and cut through until
Oh shit.
the two energies of contrasting colors would explode and expand,
Oh, they going
merging into each
blow
other
for blow.
to create a violent, thunderous storm that shines bright, flashing the entire skyline, until eventually, and inevitably, erupting into a seismic explosion of red and blue, which of course mix to give a little green. Wow! Green! This final detail, of course, pleasing the Omni King more than anything. But there would be no breaks whatsoever, even as the dust cloud would get created, as from the smoke covertly, a giant clawed devil arm of Vegito would emerge, ready to grip onto a vision-affected Dai, catching him off guard in all the commotion. But even within the shadows, the Grand Priest would not falter, noticing instantly before... With a sharp slice, something would instantly cut through the hand of the giant arm before anything could even land. And as the dust would separate from the sheer power of the slash, it would shockingly be revealed to be done by Dai's angel wing of all things, which had solidified and sharpened at will, slicing the hand off one of Vegito's demon arms clean. And with a dual scream of agonizing pain, both Vegito and Lucif would shout out in tandem, with the demon seemingly confirmed now to be a part of the devil himself.
Damn you!
But eventually gritting
shit.
his teeth to get through the intense pain, the God Killer would grumble while still leaking blood.
No matter what I try, whatever change he's gone through, it's made him one step ahead. When will it end? What do you expect? He is my brother!
But interrupting Vegito internally would be the furious Lucif, who also now would be suffering the same pain as Vegito, continuing...
This ends when you use my power for real and stop messing around. Dai's power is on the same level as mine, maybe even greater. Who knows? If you want any chance of winning, you need to fight fire with fire. Get it into that damn mortal brain of yours that you are not defeating him without my power. You're risking everything over that damn pride, just as he said. You're being played like a damn fiddle.
And Vegito, in response, would just grunt back, this time not telling the demon to be quiet, as it would seem for once the God Killer would begin to heed his words, as he would think,
What do I do?
what's with all these twitches and movements? Are you losing your mind already? Leaving the Grand Priest to cockily observe with his arms folded, as he would goad, well, hurry up and regenerate your hand then. No need to pretend your injuries are ever permanent. I've learned that much is not true. But what I have learned is, judging by how hard you were breathing earlier, each time you regenerate, you expend a good chunk of your energy. It's only a matter of time until you break, my dear Vegito.
No!
But defiantly, Vegito would just lift his left arm, tensing it as veins would begin to bulge and begin to say,
What's up?
I won't be regenerating anything. I'm going to do you one better, Dai.
What you about to do, boy? What you about to do?
Watch closely, Zeno.
confusing Dai, as he too, just like us, would begin wondering what Vegito could even mean. Why would he not regenerate a damaged arm? But as we would wonder...
Another form.
the pressure around the God Killer would begin to intensify, as veins now begin to vascularize all around his face and body, and Vegito's power level would begin to slowly rise. So much for not regenerating, mortal. I can already see that arm moving again. But as Vegito would continue to power up in some way, with small rocks lifting up all around him, bursting under the crackling black thunder, the Grand Priest would notice Vegito's severed arm would begin to deform once more, until... in a shock move, the God Killer himself would amputate his second arm.
Oh, what the
Right
fuck?
at the base, as his grimacing face would twitch from the pain, commenting as he does so,
Just you wait and see, clown!
What the fuck wrong with this nigga?
leaving the dead demon arm to now fall to the ground like a pile of bricks.
Well, that stung.
And now huffing and puffing once more, having prepped himself mentally to dismember himself, he would then say,
Now watch closely.
as his giant arm would then suddenly return to normal size, but maintaining its black colorature. Before the darkness would soon then seep from his arm towards his chest like a virus, spreading across until... Vegito's left arm too would now succumb to the darkness, turning pitch black with the power of Lucifer seeping deeper within him, culminating in... the God Killer's third eye would now no longer be half demon and half seraphim, but now completely over to the dark side,
Oh shit.
turning blood red as it opens wider and wider.
That's the way, Vegito. Use more and more of my delicious power. Show him no mercy.
Oh shit.
As Vegito, now powered up into yet another variant of his new form, with Lucifer visibly spreading further into him, would unleash a demonically powerful power. Blood red and dark purple in aura, with multicolored lightning dancing in all directions, as Lucifer himself from behind would bear the same giant grin as Vegito, looking down as if proudly at his next successor. He isn't! This power-up even leaving the Grand Priest to be in a state of shock, as he witnesses even more ungodly power get tapped into, unable to intervene as he wonders if who he is witnessing now is still Vegito or is now his elder brother. And as the huge amount of energy would burst through the sky, creating a commotion, the other warriors, namely Destroyer Goku and Vegeta, would be stopped in their tracks, observing until... suddenly, as Vegito would
Oh my god, these
transform,
niggas fighting. Damn.
something would snap within the true demon of destruction. His eyes widened, his muscles tense and frozen, not uttering a word before... In an instant, a sharp pounding pain would come over Vegeta, attacking from the inside as he would instinctively be forced to grab onto his skull with both hands as he would yell a blood-curdling groan. And in a strange scene, Both Gokus on the battlefield would immediately react, but with very different thoughts of concern. As Seraphim Goku, turning to the prince, not realizing GT is right behind him, would yell, "Vegeta! What's wrong?" While Destroyer Goku from the past would just look on confused more than anything, as he would think to himself, "Vegeta, what's happening to him? Is it something like the heart virus? Whatever it is, this is my chance. This is how I avenge everyone!" With that said, and his opportunity in plain sight, he would instantly get his hands placed together and begin.
Oh shit.
I
don't know, Chief.
And just like that, with full force, with all his remaining power, Destroyer Goku would fire off a powerful Kamehameha wave of destruction-infused energy, all while Vegeta would remain compromised, still grabbing his head with his eyes entirely closed.
What's happening to me?
Vegeta! But even if Vegeta can't detect what is about to hit him, Goku would. As now screaming in panic, his Saiyan friend would begin moving forward, yelling, "Vegeta! Move!" Huh? But it would only be so long before the fused Royal Commander GT would have enough.
Oh,
Appearing
shit.
directly behind Goku with his fist already cocked back until...
Come on, Goku, focus, nigga.
suddenly making his move, striking the Seraphim warrior directly on the back, sending him spiraling down to the ground instantly for a crash landing. Unfortunately, nobody can save Vegeta this time.
You don't want to be saved.
And as the fallen Saiyan would recover on the ground, right in front of Vegeta, the beam would now be in touching distance. Vegeta! Ultimately making contact and exploding for a devastating detonation that dwarfs everyone, GT and Destroyer Goku included, who would watch on as finally one of the three God Killers would be put down. No! And still on the ground mourning his loss and inability to step in to save Vegeta, all that would be seen in the sky now would be a large cloud of dark and heated smoke. And with a look of disbelief in his face, Goku would only be able to mutter, "Vegeta, you can't be gone! What are we gonna do now?" Huh? But
That
suddenly,
boy ain't gone
as
now.
the Seraphim would worry, from the dark clouds of smoke, two black wings, previously belonging to Vegeta, would suddenly fall out, and eventually then land on the ground without motion. What the? This, of course, baffling Destroyer Goku, who would observe closely, at first not sensing nor detecting a thing until... Two violent red eyes would slowly become visible through the smoke, burning through as the dust would dissipate
Oh,
before...
Ooh.
Standing there
That
now
boy clean.
in an entirely new form, his hair blood red and violently spiked, his arms blackened, and his eyes now red and demonic, just like Vegito's. The Prince of all Saiyans would now enter and call upon, albeit not by choice, the power of Lucifer himself, entering an all-new level of power along with Vegito. And when we would look closely at his
That boy
face,
clean.
the prince would no longer seem a man, but more a beast, just grunting as he becomes used to the new power overflowing through his body.
What?
And as Goku would begin to recover and regain sight of what's above, noticing Vegeta, he would instantly be sent into shock. As looking up in awe, sensing the prince's newfound strength, he would say, "What just happened? Vegeta, you've changed. What is that?"
This is the power that will end the gods! A new reign begins now!
Oh shit.
As in an incredible scene,
Oh,
as
shit.
if both being of one mind now, or perhaps controlled by the same being, simultaneously with devilish smiles, both Vegeta and Vegito would let out a declaration of war, with their newfound power exploding out of their bodies. Whatever happened to these two, it will be key to turning the tables. But that
Okay, that boy clean. Them boys clean. All right, I'm ready. I am ready.
tiger,
What?
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, I'm ready for the next one, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. Catch y'all next time. Check out the last one right here. Check out another video you might like right here, and I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.